it gets dumpstered by Quap, man.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely dumpstered. I hate it. I mean, it solves something
10
for the Bane,
seconds
sure,
remaining.
but what are you giving up for
Dire
yourself in the
team
laning
pick.
stage? I feel like a big part of why. Oh, okay, that's something a little different and a frontliner. I don't hate that. I feel like the Dawnbreaker is a nice pick. Um, but yeah, I feel like a big part of why MY has been in such a commanding position. I mean, I think they had like an 85% win probability at like the 30-minute mark of
10
that previous
seconds
game,
remaining.
was because of how good of an early game you're having here on BB. But now you're
5
just giving
seconds
that away by
remaining.
picking this Storm Spirit into a Quap. It's baffling to me, to be honest.
Yeah, it definitely felt like in both game one and game two, they played off the back of their really strong lane. So now giving up your mid lane almost in an aspect, like I guess yes, like you're saying, it provides him some of the things you needed, a way to jump the Bane, magic damage versus Terrorblade. But if you're gonna have a rough lane, then getting to that potential to deal with those other aspects is not going to come online at a stage that you're really requiring from MY.
Yeah, and now what Polaris needs to make sure that they're doing is getting that sentry, blocking the small camp, making sure that the Storm Spirit doesn't have anywhere to go. Can't come to the lane, can't go to the jungle, makes his life very, very hard.
Uh,
What do they pick here? Do they Nyx? I feel like you Nyx here. Nyx is great. You know, kill Storm Spirit nice and easily. You Solar Guardian, just jump into it, use this Carapace. Dawnbreaker's not actually at the team fight. You've got a one person advantage. I love it. And it's also I mean it's an alright laner for sure. Yeah, I want to see the Nyx.
you reckon it's alright, Lena? I reckon Nyx is an atrocious laner. I think that hero does absolutely
Alright.
nothing.
Well, no, it trades all right because you've
Radiant
got a
team
very good
death.
amount of HP regen.
Earthshaker.
Earthshaker, okay. So something else that's going to be able to play on the sidelines and deal with the storm before he's able to actually zip away. Oh, I keep going back and forth between which draft I hate more.
You're not a fan of Earthshaker, are you? I know you're not. That's why.
I mean,
10
I feel like you
seconds
just need to be a
remaining.
really good Earthshaker player to make it work. And I mean, is this like
5
an offlane
seconds
Earthshaker?
remaining.
Uh, I mean,
Potentially.
you definitely have the flexibility. I think
Dire team back.
regardless if the Earthshaker's 4, you're gonna have to go for a really self-sufficient 3 because Earthshaker's a horrible laner. You want to be making rotations. I guess it's nice because you have
Radiant
this Queen of
team
Pain
back.
Storm Spirit matchup, and like with a fissure from far, then maybe that's enough to help Quap getting that kill. But still, you need a position 3 that's going to play into like a 1v2 matchup. So it's not honestly right now. It's very difficult at the stage of Dota.
10 seconds
The
remaining.
thing that I maybe Polaris's thought
5
process
seconds
was, okay,
remaining.
we need to pick a hero that could be 3 or could be 4
Sure.
because we've got the last overall pick. We want to maybe bait them into going
Dire
something like the
team
Drow
ban.
so that we can then pick up something that's going to be able to counter that. So I love that Timbersaw ban. I feel like if they were going to Drow, then Timbersaw is a great way to just get on top of her and have a very low risk of dying. Um, so yeah, it's just taking away a lot of these insurance plans that
10
Polaris might be
seconds
looking to go
remaining.
for.
Definitely Drow's on the cards to be banned out, right? Like I'm looking
5
at other
seconds
ranged heroes to
remaining.
deal with the Terrorblade from far.
Arkwarden.
Yes. Does KP play that? Why do I
He
feel
plays it.
like he does?
Hmm.
Oh yes, no, we're gonna be.
But no one plays it. That's the
That's
bigger
true.
issue.
No one plays it. Um, we saw
Radiant
Troll.
team
Okay,
pick.
they do. I was gonna say we saw Troll banned out previously, and I'm speaking
Dire
about MY
team
having a
pick.
really strong lane,
Phantom
and they're
assassin.
just going to the PA. Which, how do you feel about this matchup into Terrorblade? Because I actually don't hate it for TB.
I feel like it's one of those ones where they're basically just not going to focus TB. Seri, I'm going to rage about him again. Great, great Arena of Bloods. So it's just going to be trying to create space in a lot of these team fights where the Terrorblade isn't killing you while you kill the rest of their team. You've got a Grimstroke that's going to pop the Inkswell onto either the Storm or the PA. They're going to dive in super deep. If they try and turn around, you'll have the Solar Guardian to be able to keep them sustained while they kill the Bane, kill the Earthshaker, kill the
Now select
Viper.
your heroes.
Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Let's have a look at this. So it's an offlane Viper into a Phantom Assassin, I would assume Grimstroke. It's a great lane together.
Honestly, I thought they were actually going to play Earthshaker as a 3 when I saw the PA. Because Enchant Totem's still...
Nope.
No, it's not anymore? Okay.
Nope.
Still...
I actually looked this up very recently because I saw a YouTube clip. 7.29, they took away True Strike, but they gave it the cleave when you get Ags instead.
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah,
It has
I was...
a 40% cleave when you get Ags. Yeah.
Interesting. I still think the Viper's good anyway. Like maybe you can go like ATOS to help with the Storm Spirit issues if you
10
feel like you're
seconds
lacking control. His utility his itemization can be very flexible.
5 seconds
You're into a
remaining.
double melee lane. Viper's gonna have a good time. As the game goes on, PA matches really well into the Viper, but the issue is MY, their lanes seem very, very bad. Cop's gonna beat Storm. Viper's going to beat PA with the help of the Earthshaker. You can get kills from afar. And it's really the question of MY. Like, Seri has really been the huge reason of why they've been in a position they have been in on his Mars multiple times. I think all eyes on him.
Yeah, I'm going to say Polaris for this one just because I feel very confident about Lelouch in that mid lane, and I feel confident about Force in the off lane. I would feel a little bit less so if it was the Grimstroke paired together with a PA, just because you could do something like body block your wave so heavily that the creep wave comes back underneath your own tower. You get level 2 before them, and then use that to go onto the Viper and just kill him over and over again before he hits up onto level 3. But since it doesn't look like they've done that, you've got Stylist playing the Grimstroke and Lionax on the Dawnbreaker. I'm feeling a little bit more confident in Polaris's choice with their heroes.
Do you think they could still push the lanes around? Because often we can still see like maybe they just want the Dawnbreaker to be played. Another thing to mention is that when Lionax was on Motivate, they were big fans of the Dawnbreaker. It was Q playing
Support
it more
Dawnbreaker
often.
Yeah.
We saw Q playing it. I think they gave it to Lionax a couple of times, but he would be very, very familiar on how this Dawnbreaker support
Prepare for battle.
looks in a game. So he's another person that I think has looked exceptional through the laning stage and has really given them, in particular KMP, a good start. I think that's going to be a little bit different though with these lanes, and I'm in agreement. Yeah. I'm going to give the edge to Polaris here. I think their lanes are what's going to win them over. As long as you don't give up first blood on Xavier's. Fissure in a position like this might give him enough time to reset, and they're still going to pursue on for more though. MP. Low cooldown in the dagger slow, but it looks like Fissure is out to safety. Combo.
Oh man, stun. Look at that damage. 330. Hoggies.
So, I mean, I was just saying, we're both putting the little bit of the edge of our chips over into Polaris' side?
Yeah. I would say a little bit more than
just the edge?
A bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
would be stunned if this mid lane doesn't go incredibly heavily in favor of Lelouch.
Yeah, I mean, they picked it into it as well. Like, one thing I was going to say is that Polaris are a team that actually like flexing the Queen of Pain a lot to position 4. But as soon as you pick a Storm Spirit into this matchup, like, yeah, let's just put it mid. We're so happy with that. We know this lane's really strong. You're just like, yep, why have they done this? Yep. Very cool.
I'm confused.
Oh, no. All right, well, we'll see. Again, I think MY in Game 1 and Game 2, they felt really strong off the back of their lanes. I like this, though. They're going to start with the tri-lane. Viper's level 1 is atrocious. Earthshaker's level 1 is atrocious. So if you can come out in an advantage here, but there are going to be issues with at least the position in the creep wave, and actually Style's going to TP up. So,
Look at this, though. KNP, he tried to do that block thing that I was talking about, you know, get that really early level 2, but of course you're coming up against an Earthshaker. He's just going to Fissure block. Means that he is a little low on mana, but well, as long as Lionax doesn't hit him, he should be okay. Although Force, like, this is what I was talking about.
Oh no, level 1 Viper. They don't even need the Grimstroke. Force just going to end up going down. Looks like he just maybe tried to do as much damage as he could. But you bring Lionax relatively low, but he's got 4 Tangos, KNP. Even starting with a Blight Zone too. So this is making me feel like MY, you're really wanting to use this early advantage you have over the position 3 Viper.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is the only way to play the lane. If you don't get kills, you've lost the lane.
Do you
And
consider
not
like
just kills in general, kills onto the Viper.
do you consider an orb corrosion, or by that stage it's unless you maybe get another kill, then it might not be the item.
Yeah, I think it might not be the item. I think just having stuff that's going to help you farm, like I don't feel like you can go naked Battle Fury, for example, but something like a Power Treads that's just good anyway is totally fine.
Again, they've got the level 2s, and I mean, Force just TP back to lane. Come on, guys, leave me alone, he's saying, and
Under attack.
I don't give him that opportunity. Okay, so look, when I was saying that the Viper matchup versus PA, this is definitely something I didn't mention, and it is making me look like I'm backtracking, but you didn't say it as well, so it doesn't make me look as bad.
Oh no, I said they could definitely kill. I just thought it was a lot less likely with the Dawnbreaker as opposed to the Grimstroke.
No, I'm trying to pull you down with me. What do you say? Let me do it. Oh,
I will.
no.
If you know anything about me, is that I love to be right.
All right, well, how's mid going? BB, he's having a relatively good start as well. Lush, how many points do you anticipate him to go into the dagger? Is 2 enough?
All of
Or
All of
okay. Screw you,
Maybe.
Storm.
Just like you want to try and bully him out of this lane as much as possible. They did also block up the small camp that I was talking about in the draft, so nicely done there. Despite that, though, BB's doing a pretty good job with his last hits.
Yeah, 13 and 2 at the moment. Lucia's got pretty good positioning at the moment with the creep wave, though, so will make it difficult for BB to be able to contest this, as we'll take a look at how the top lane's going. Natsumi up against Seri, a lane that we did see previously with the Bane as well. How do you feel like Grimstroke's gonna, switch the matchup, though,
Radiant's courier
from
has
what
been
we saw in
killed.
Game 2?
Oh, I mean, against the Terrorblade, right? It's just about, that's why it's a position 4. It's just stalling for the late-ish game. Like, you've got contingency plans, right? Like, even if the Terrorblade has a massive game, the stronger he is, the stronger he has the potential to be able to turn it around against the rest of the team. And it's only really the Terrorblade that can right-click his own Dark Portrait. Like, it's spell immune.
He's gonna be in trouble. Maybe he's gonna get the Nightmare dodge fast enough. Well, it'll actually hold back Seri, so prioritize that to dodge out the Inkswell.
They love doing this little creep pull, don't they? KNP pulling it back underneath the, behind the tier 1 tower, even pulling it onto the range creep. Nicely done.
Looks like Lion Axe should end up going down. So it's going to give Force closer of a position towards level 3. And again, oh, that's a big kill on Natsumi. Okay, Mavis not able to prevent MY this time from getting the kill on the Terrorblade.
Did end up going for the Orb of Corrosion, so of course a very high kill build here on the PA. It's understandable, right? Just because you've had a very good start, bullying out the Viper so well. Going into that Battle Fury afterwards, I'm not sure how crazy I am about that. I still feel like the Power Treads is a really nice build-up that gives you, A, what you're going to want anyway in the game, but also just the bullying aspect is incredibly strong.
Yeah, because it feels like if you go straight Battle Fury, it's not really playing with your aggressive build with the Orb of Corrosion at the moment. So I wonder if it feels like
Dire's
maybe...
structures are
Like,
fortified.
I was going to say maybe you're just like, okay, I'm going to get zoned out of the lane super early. As top stylist, it's going to be okay. Yeah, I wonder if it's like, all right, I'm going to get zoned out of the lane super early. I just need to rush Battle Fury. But then, like, why do you go Orb of Corrosion? So, yeah, we'll see how his item build continues to progress here with KMP. But another thing to mention is that BB is just back into the jungle. So, this has been a pretty free lane.
It's his only option, right? Like, you cannot lane into this Queen of Pain. Didn't end up going the third point into the Shadow Strike, actually. Maybe just playing a little bit of that mind games, maybe on the Storm thinking as soon as he hits level 5 on the Quap that you just cannot lane into it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Because definitely if you go more points in Dagger and there's no one playing the lane, then there's 0 point of it. So you kind of want the Scream now to increase your farm and your scaling potential as well. Stylus going to make a rotation and bye-bye Force. Great movement from the side of MY, using that +1 from the support, and now they can continue to chase down Xavius as well. BB not really in a position to offer much assistance, but it looks like regardless, the Phantom Assassin, along with the Grimstroke, have plenty of damage to secure the kill. So continuing on with this really strong start to the lane, and definitely...
Be a little careful here. What's the Nightmare range? It's just level 2. Be able to catch him out in time.
They kept chasing, actually. They might have caught Got him out on the high ground with that TP. Didn't get too much distance, but
Radiant's middle
Avis and
tower is
Lelouch
under
continue
attack.
to run away. So, I mean, now what's the game plan for the Viper? Like, yes, the matchup's really good into the PA early. Well, definitely feels like the early to mid game, but if PA comes out ahead, like, physical damage is the way to deal with the Viper.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, he hasn't helped himself by going for this urn, that's
Bottom
for
lane
sure.
again, Lionax. Gonna join a 3-on-3 early on, but at least they're not
Man's
jumping
done.
force, so now Viper has an opportunity to stack up the poison.
Meant for more.
Very nicely done.
Splinters at my touch.
Yeah, good question as to how he's going to be able to salvage this. I mean, he's nearly hitting on to level 4 just with that that kill there. So maybe just a 1 point in the Nether Toxin, make things a little bit easier for himself with that magic resistance. Sorry, not the Nether Toxin, the corrosive skin. Just ends up getting the Nether Toxin instead. I mean, it makes sense if they're able to build up stacks for him as well. It just enables you to go back to the jungle, use that to farm a little bit, but I feel like you can't stay in this lane right now. You know, you've got Xavius who's level 5 doing a great job, but it just feels so challenging, especially
Eyes on top, Seri. Just completing the level 6, so it might give them the opportunity to burst down the Terror Blade. Oh, they tried to wait around too long, and our Stylus is even TPing over as well. Lelouch is still gonna fall just after he gets the kill on the Mars. I mean,
Boss is almost dead.
yeah, and he's gonna end up dropping too. So MY, I mean, off the back of the lanes, they're still looking exceptionally strong here. Maybe it's gonna TP down. This Nightmare will give them an opportunity for the cooldowns to come back up. They're gonna try and get rid of the catapult to find the level 6. And Davies drops the dunk, the combo stacking up.
But never.
I'm the core now, screw the
Radiant's
Viper.
bottom tower is under
That
attack.
was a very good play. Twice now in 2 games that Xavius has made the, let's call it a next level play. I don't think everyone would notice that. And he's really, yeah, putting the team on his back saying, look, I got this. Even dragging this camp together to make sure that the Nether Toxin's able to get that double farm.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's also big as well that Storm Spirit gets involved for the kill on the Viper top. Like it's sorry, on the Queen of Pain top, apologies. With how Lelouch has been playing this game, you know, top of the net worth and Storm's been struggling. It's still getting, you know, his farm in the jungle, which is why he's about 800 gold behind, but at least showing that he's available to show up to these fights even though his lane hasn't been the greatest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's been assisted by a couple of things. You know, the haste in the bottle. He's also got an arcane ring for himself. Keen optic. They're getting real lucky here with some of these neutral items on MY. Even looking to connect through onto Seri, who has his ult available again. This is the thing, though. You can't afford to have someone like Lionax just sit down here. You know, Dawnbreaker, one of those heroes that can do a very good job at clearing out waves from a safe distance. And as soon as you hit up onto that level 6, you also have a little bit of a mechanism
mid
to
lane.
escape.
Oh, Phantom Assassin. This is a big kill. Stylus going to TP him fast enough to be able to cancel this one. And now with BB showing up as well, they've got plenty of bursts. Maybe it's actually playing around with the Nightmare dodge. It's going to give them at least some time for the Queen of Pain to jump the back and still get the Phantom Assassin kill. And I mean, all in all, that's 3 TPs, I think, used from MY. So it's a lot forced out of the map here to try and keep the Phantom Assassin alive.
A little unlucky on Lionax. He was about 3 experience short from hitting onto his level 6. I feel like if he has that, he's able to use the Solar Guardian onto the PA. She doesn't die. And, you know, that's not quite as good of a trade for Polaris.
Add another to the tally.
Do you like the Agshard build-up from Lionax? Because I think we were seeing Q go, like, Holy Locket into Aghanims. I don't think we ever really saw this Agshard.
Just trying to think of why. Like, I guess it means that you're not just caught out of position by the Viper and constantly kited around. You probably don't want a Viper strike a Dawnbreaker. So it makes sense in that regard, but I don't know. It feels a little odd to me. I feel like you need that ability to be able to influence team fights in a bigger way than just being a Starbreaker bot. That's not what you picked the Dawnbreaker for.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
They're actually going to look to
fortified.
take the fight bottom.
Dire's top
Series
tower
TPing down to
is
set
under
up
attack.
an
Dire's
incredible
top
arena
tower
with the
is
combination for the Solar Guardians. Plenty of burst damage to go through Natsumi, but they've still got to be cautious of the echo damage that'll push them back. It looks like with the numbers overwhelming the side of Polaris, they'll end up losing 3. But Lelouch and Mavis looking to combine together to at least catch out some heroes that are sticking around for too long. Mavis has the Fiend's Grip up in a couple of seconds. He's actually going to turn to try and deal with the Mars instead, as Styles doesn't have that quick and easy cancel. And Lelouch, I mean, recognizing they TP'd down bottom, so there's no easy escape as well. Blink back up in 2 seconds. Sonic Wave as well, so he should get the kill on BB. Unable to dodge. Lelouch killing spree now for the Queen of Pain. And now Mavis has also run into the Grimstroke under the tower. Who's ran into who, though? I mean, that's really the question at the moment. As Stylus will get the kill before he dies, but, I mean, you're just feeding the position, too, for the Queen of Pain.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I did say he was going to have a good game, and he's certainly paying that back in dividends. 2,200 net worth ahead of the Storm Spirit at the 12-minute mark of the game is exactly what you want on this Queen of Pain. And, you know, that's the sort of people that he can feed off of at this stage, the Storm, before he builds up too much of that mana pool for himself. But really, it's the PA that he's going to be hunting very shortly. As soon as he finishes up that Kyra and Sanj, he's going to be roaming around with the rest of his team, making sure that he's denying away a lot of this net worth growth that KNP is going to try and build up for himself.
He gets a stack off. Very nicely done. Well, KNP, yeah, it should be a triple at the Ancients shortly for when the Battle Fury is completed. Polaris, though, eyes on Lion Axe. Another time, though, that they've only found the position 5 with this smoke, so definitely not what they were hoping out of it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Kind of surprised with how little net worth Natsumi has. He's died 3 times. I thought it was only twice.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Definitely, what, yeah, 0 deaths last game, right? So,
Is under attack.
Yep. He's 4-0 and 9.
they're going to take the fight. Seri TPing in. But Davies already has the instant answer to prevent the arena as soon as he joins the fray. So get rid of the Mars. Lelouch is already looking for an extra kill. Just pushing back MY so they're not in a position to be able to defend the tower. Going to be forced to use the Solar Guardian, but Lelouch is going to be a bit cautious now. With Mavis waiting in the wings, they'll always have this nightmare opportunity to keep the Queen of Pain healthy. And I mean, do they just turn for the Ancients now? Yes, they do. It's a big win.
The hero play here, but he's not going to regen quickly enough to be able to influence this. So big steal coming through from Polaris there.
Just speaking about another smoke from Dire. Back-to-back smokes here. Really,
I mean, they know that they don't have to deal with the Solar Guardian anymore, right? So they can feel very confident in taking this play.
AMP. He just used Phantom Strike as well. Lion Axe is going to have to play off the back of the cancellation, but the fissure prevents that. Beautiful positioning from Xavius, finding both the heroes, and look at how aggressive Polaris are playing. From bottom to top, they go, continuing to sweep through the jungle. Really putting a dampening on any net worth that MY are able to get. Now they run into Stylus too. Yes, he D-wards the area, but just another pick off. And for Lelouch, I mean, he's gold like, it's not even 15 minutes in.
Tower is under attack.
He's having a very good game, and unfortunate that they're not going to be able to punish this fact that, you know, you saw Force TP down to the bottom side. TP, it always feels like the underrated aspect of knowing when and where people have TP'd. 80 seconds is a long-ass time, so he obviously was feeling a little bit confident, Stylus, in going up there, trying to get the D-ward off. He did, but there not going to punish the fact that you were without a Viper.
Not another one. Oh, well, Lelouch has got another freebie. Seri might be able to... Okay, maybe not another freebie. I think they just got the vision thanks to Xavius, and yeah, Lelouch is going to be forced to drop the ultimate for this. So if they were keeping tabs as well, they would have scouted out that blink completed on Seri, so it's not going to catch them off guard by the time he respawns.
Oh, okay, he's going to TP. Kind of surprised that Bane doesn't have a single point in the Enfeeble. It's quite nice against the Dawnbreaker and the PA in particular.
You're a big fan of your level 8 Enfeeble, aren't you?
Just 1 point. That's
Yeah,
all I
it's so stupid. It's just what an ability. Look at the value point. Every time I look at it, and every time I am amazed at how much it does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Like, I could understand if it was like, I don't know, 5, 7, 9, 11 seconds. Then maybe it's not quite so worth it. But it's still 8 seconds at level 1.
Radiant's
Ah,
bottom
yes.
tower is under attack.
Enfeeble, what an ability.
Radiant
Alright,
are
for Dire-
scanning.
We continue pushing here. Radiant looking to make the play though. Blink on
Dire's
Mars and
middle tower
yeah,
is
Orchid
under
on
attack.
Storm Spirit as well. So they feel like this
Radiant's
is a
bottom
position
tower is under attack.
you can take a fight, maybe bring yourself back into the game. Also, you're kind of forced to do so though to continue making space for KMP.
Well, I mean, this is the kind of play that I want to see
Radiant's
them
top
making
tower
on
is
Seri,
under
BB,
attack.
and Stylus. They're rotating
Dire's
through together.
middle
They do
tower is
put
under
the smoke
attack.
up. It's not underneath vision, so that's very good. And they're going to see them rotating through. Who are they going to be able to jump on? Because you've got this ultimate.
He's looking
on
for the blink
Linax.
reveal as well. Great start to the fight here, but the arena controlling two. A quick and easy burst is now MY. And they'll get out with murder. Very nice reveal.
Exactly what you want. Yeah. I was about to say before when Lionax was kind of just sitting down bottom with the rest of the team, that's not what you pick a Dawnbreaker for. You pick a Dawnbreaker to be
Radiant's
away from the
bottom
rest of the
tower is
team,
under
be
attack.
good at pushing out waves,
Dire's
and still be
structures
able
are
to
fortified.
join in with the rest of the team when one of these big team fights break out, like that one there. So the fact that eventually they walked away from the bottom lane and made that
Dire's
smoke
middle
play to
tower
connect in
is
onto
under
two,
attack.
sure, it's just the two supports. It
Radiant
fits a lot more with the
structures
strategy
are
that they were going for.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bit unfortunate that they don't get an
Dire's top
objective
tower is
off the
under
back of
attack.
that skirmish victory from MY. Did a decent chunk of damage to the tier 1 mid. I guess you prevented Dire from taking the bottom tier 2 as well, but
Add another to the
it's still a
tally.
hefty lead for Polaris.
This should make my life easier.
Dire are scanning.
It is. I mean, you've got Arena up in 30 seconds. The timer doesn't perfectly sync up with the Solar Guardians, so maybe they'll need to be a little bit more delayed with actually going for that. Not yet 20 minutes, so can't even
Dire's
buy
top
that
tower
Aghanim
is
shard.
under attack.
Wonder if Lionax might try and change it up a little bit, go into the Holy Locket. I honestly wouldn't hate it to just see him rush the Aghanim Scepter, though.
Lionax jumps over the fissure line. They're still actually going to drop Echo and Sonic
Two
Wave.
ultis.
Oh, you're
Wow.
happy with that.
Radiant's bottom tower
I'd be
is under
incredibly
attack.
happy,
Maybe
although not so much
yeah,
if
you lose
catch
the
out Sperry.
Mars. Oh. Grimstroke's trying to get in the area, but it's going to take a little bit too long for the cancel.
Radiant's bottom
And now with
tower
mid lane
is
shoved
under
in as
attack.
well, let's see if they can get an objective. I mean, Terrorblade needs to connect, and our Stylist as well is stuck around, so a couple of kills being bled here. And then why?
That's just chain feeding.
Yeah, we were both saying, like, you're happy with losing the Dawn if you give up 2 ultimates for that, but an extra 2 casualties just doesn't feel worth it.
I mean, Seri, I can understand. Like, it was just really good positioning coming through there by Mavis, but unfortunately, not so much the case for Stylus. Like, he just shouldn't have been there.
Mavis, Mike, oh my lord. Bane with freaking Tumblr's toy is so
Radiant's middle
stupid.
tower is
Like, just
under
how this
attack.
hero plays, it's perfect. Oh my god, this hero is so stupid. KMP's about to run it back into Natsumi's farming rotation, so
Dire's
attempt to
top
TP
tower
out is
is
blink
under
up on
attack.
Shigget. No, it's not. Still on cooldown, so very nice awareness. Couple of times he's just TP'd out in front of danger.
Lucked out a little bit here on MY. It's hasn't had the greatest game so far on the Grimstroke,
Radiant's
but
middle tower
still
is under
has the
attack.
Philosopher's Stone. So going to help with building towards that
Radiant
Aghanim.
are
So it's
scanning.
not out of their reach by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, PA has turned up to very few of these team fights.
I don't know. We saw what could happen previously in a team fight in a close proximity, and they are all grouped up for this arena. Aseri drops the arena, but now with the instant BKB from Lush is going to give them the opportunity, but they've still got issues to keep the Terrorblade alive. As Natsumi gets blown up, but it looks like still Polaris are happy to take the fight as Alush pouncing on 4 to catch out Stylus, but they're lacking a way to cancel the TP. At least they're still able to catch BB on the outskirts here.
Dire's
So we're
bottom
2 for
tower is
1,
under
and
attack.
back into Roche they go.
Xavier's is insanely farmed. He also had the Aghanim shard as part of that, so that was the only reason they were able to catch out BB.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Little Lush, my god.
Have to be careful here. Oof.
Dire's
I have to
bottom
say,
tower
Mavis,
is
he
under
had the feeds
attack.
grip at the ready, and you don't have the damage just yet to be able to pop him on this PA.
So even with BKB coming out next on KP, how much impact do we feel like he's really going to have in fights?
I mean, not a lot, to be perfectly real. Like, sure, you might be able to kill the Viper real quick. You might be able to get the Earthshaker out,
Radiant's
but
top
I feel like
tower is
Xavius'
under
positioning
attack.
has been pretty solid. That you can do a lot of impact from the side of the fights just with the Fissure and that early Aghanim shot. Like, you're just going to be chain stunning people off from the side. So yeah, I just don't feel like you're going to get the same
Radiant's
value
top
that you might be
tower has
expecting
fallen.
out of this PA, and maybe something like
Dire
the
are
Desolator
scanning.
was the way that you needed to go. Just try and split push these waves out a little bit more. You've already got the Storm Spirit that's pretty good at doing it, and you've got a Dawnbreaker that you can just park in the third lane.
They run into the Mars. Davies once again using the Echo Sam slow load just to try and find a quick and easy pickoff, and
Oh,
the Lelouch is happy to use the ultimate for the task as well. Once again, combining them together. This time they'll get rid of the Mars. And why? See what they can use with this information though. Your Mars up in third, even though they do have the Aegis advantage on Polaris. And maybe with this BKB timing, they feel like it's now positioned for them to take the fight, but Linax just gonna go for a TP out. Mavis, however, have the 8th lens. He's got more cast range to be able to cancel this, however. So another kill is gonna be bled.
Lucius just taking the outpost in front of Linax's face as he died. Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that MY as a team were kind of playing around the PA a little bit more there, because they lost this tier 2 tower pretty damn quickly, and they don't have the strongest pushing lineup outside of Natsumi's Terrorblade, right? So PA's spaces to be able to farm are incredibly limited right now. So your team is kind of forced to play around with you, and that's not what you want. Kind of like I was saying before, right? You can use a PA to split push.
They're gonna
with
look to
Blur.
jump. Nice timing from Lelouch. Out to safety, the Fissure. Not enough to disrupt, so they'll just look to blow up the Viper and turn for any more afterwards. But KMP, he did use the BKB for the initial life, so they've got to be cautious of how long they stick around. And well, now with Natsumi wrapping on the backline to cut off the retreat, they'll be able to turn to deal with Seri next as well. And simultaneously, Mavis has even be able to catch out Lionax. A Nightmare after the long duration Fiend's Grip means that they'll find 3 for the price of 1.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, this is what a good Queen of Pain can do when you're up against
They're gonna
a
kill
hero that you
KMP
can just
too.
dominate in lane.
Actually, did they? I don't think they saw him with the creep wave. Apologies. Oh, no, don't do it.
Xavius kind of feels like he might be there, though.
Don't do it.
Oh.
Don't do it. Okay, he
Oh, he
did it.
knows.
Yeah, but the Clops already ran away. Now you can just TP out with everything. Oh,
Echo?
he's still got Echo. Okay, never mind. Oh, poor old. Look at the tip. Oh, no. KP just like, all right, let me try and get a kill. They were dropping the voice lines as well. The Lelouch, the taunting. Oh, you got to kill him. Okay, now before he gets some creeps. He got one of them. Value. Mavis is setting up bottom too. Oh,
my
this
God,
Bane.
This is so stupid.
They got heroes nearby, but Lelouch just gonna look to jump the Grimstroke instead, and still the Storm Spirit slept. So he's got no way to offer some assistance. Oh yes, these heroes.
Radiant's
How do you
top
play the
tower
map?
is under attack.
There's a reason they're meta right now. The Bane, the Quap. It just seems like you're able to get so much done with so little. And I mean, they to be fair, they are trying to do that split pushing style that I was mentioning before. It just feels like Polaris' movement has been really solid. You know, not using TPs unnecessarily, playing around this Aegis a lot when they do make an aggressive move on the Lelouch. It's still got 40 seconds
Radiant's
left
top
on it, so
tower is under
similar to
attack.
last game, first Aegis, all they did was make sure that there are 0 outer towers for MY to play around.
And it's a scary position to be in now,
Radiant's top
down
tower
16,000. I mean, we might see Natsumi go MKB next item. Actually, is going to offer for the Skadi, so just wanting a little bit more stats to make sure he doesn't get bursted down. Still does have the 4 deaths this game.
Radiant's
And
middle
why? Maybe
tower
they
is
take the
under
fight
attack.
around their high ground. They're going to look to jump Natsumi, but he's able to get the BKB fast enough. Incredible reactions, and now Polaris, I'll just push him back like a bully. Oh, MY, retreat, but Seri's caught. Stylus as well, outside the base. Who else can they look to run into? But It's like it's only the 2 casualties.
Lionx trying to stall as much as he can. The lanes aren't in an amazing spot outside of that mid lane,
Radiant's
actually,
middle
as they
tower
just
is
look to
under
go up
attack.
onto the high ground. But you got to ask, like, have you
Radiant
felt the impact of this
structures are
Aghanim shot on the Dawnbreaker? I haven't.
Oh, wow.
Dire's structures are
Not at all.
fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
How long they got on meta? Oh, that's plenty of
Radiant's
time.
middle tower has
So about
fallen.
half duration left.
Radiant's middle
Gonna be a
barracks
full
are
set of
under
barracks
attack.
Bottom as
mid.
well.
Radiant's
Oh,
middle
Xavius.
Oh,
barracks
KMP.
has
Oh
fallen.
no, Xavius is
Dude.
positioning again.
Oh, like
Radiant's middle
Xavius,
barracks has
along
fallen.
with Mavis. I mean, Lelouch as well, everyone on the map. They're still going to try and get BB involved, but he too has got to be relatively cautious. He's got enough mana to be able to block.
Oh,
it's-
no.
You might just call it after that. Death.
Call it. Call it.
How does he get out? Oh no!
It's the supports, man. Supports win games.
Yeah, how's your pubs
And
looking?
Lelouch has done a few things as well, but you know.
You winning your pubs games off your back of your support play?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, very, very nicely done. I mean, there's almost a
Radiant's bottom
10,000
tower.
advantage from
Radiant's bottom
Lelouch
tower has
compared to the Stormstream. As soon as you
He's
saw the
feeling
Storm
himself.
picked up,
Oh.
oh, maybe that's how. Try and push him back in. Lelouch like, all right,
Radiant's bottom
what are you gonna do?
barracks are under attack.
I'm in front of your fountain. You're not even killing me.
Radiant's bottom barracks
Like it has to be
has
said, as soon as you saw the Storm Spirit picked up into the co-op, you're like, I hate this.
Radiant's
I hate
bottom
this. I hate
barracks
this.
has fallen.
Yep. I mean, they did it to themselves. It's not like
Yeah.
they got quapped when they had already picked Storm, you know?
KP? Oh. Alright, well, Sarah's gonna jump. Gonna run into 2 along with the Solar Guardian. So all the AoE damage enough to blow up the Bane. They'll look to force next as well, the BKB. Give him an opportunity to retreat to safety. They'll also turn for the Earthshaker.
Blown away.
So, signs of life, I suppose?
I mean, Lelouch just wasn't there. He was walking back on about 3/4 HP and half mana, so it wasn't like he couldn't fight at all. He spent his time getting a bounty rune and eventually a regen and starting to come back, but they just died way too damn quickly. So, I mean, is it too advanced to say it's opened up a bit of a window for them? Maybe. It's still a 21k net worth lead, but importantly, it is the key heroes that are getting a lot of these kills. You know, it's the Storm getting a couple of them, who, as you mentioned, had such a big net worth
Dire's middle
disadvantage
tower is
opened
under
up against the
attack.
Queen of Pain. Nearly reaching the level 3 ultimate as well on BB is pretty damn important, just for that extra layer of damage that you're able to dish out at the very beginning of a lot of these engagements, especially on Natsumi.
Alright, so what do you think the probabilities jumped up to after that successful skirmish for MY?
So I think it was at about 3%, and now it's going to be at 5.
So it's a 2, so
Ah,
rough is off.
does that mean it was 0?
I don't know actually. Yeah, what happened to the graph? Is it just not updated?
Radiant
Or just-
It looks like it's updated. It looks like it's gone up a little bit.
Doesn't even matter. They get 3. It's still sticking on 2. Gaben's like, no, you are in such a rough position to come back. I might get another kill. All right. Well, if you can give it a KMP or 53
He's
gold.
got damage now. Like, he's got that Desolator as a result of these past few engagements. And near level 20, he's gonna...
Regeneration.
I kind of feel like you nearly just...
Corruption? Is that what you're
want
thinking?
the blur... Well, no, most people get corruption, but I feel like the blur evasion's pretty damn important in this game. Like, just not getting hit by Viper could be the difference.
Dire are scanning.
They're not building MKBs
Dire's
as
top
well.
tower
Like,
is under attack.
often we see that's one of the bigger ways. I guess Silver's Edge is a ridiculous item now, though. So if Natsumi gets the break,
No, he's a core. He goes the armor corruption, of course.
Add another to the tally.
what are you saying? The way you say that is like with spite. You just filthy core.
The bodies hit the floor.
Oh, Xavius. They actually doesn't get the
Smart for
stun.
one.
So BB's able to turn it back around. They'll still blow up Sirius and the Mars, having no impact at the moment. But regardless, the use of the Solar Guardian on the backline is not enough
he
to
still
cancel the
alive?
Fiend's grip as Mavis locks down the Storm for the full duration. A 2-for-1 and not the greatest arena as well to turn it back around. Earthshaker's even
time
going to
there.
buy back. My lord. Put him in the grave.
Why not? You got the meta. This is the time to close out the game. They're assuming that Storm doesn't have buyback, just like he didn't in that previous fight when they were
Who's
going
gonna
in
buy
onto the high
back?
ground.
They need to get rid of the Bane. They'll put the priority on that, a quick and easy burst. But now with the passive getting broken from KP, BKB on cooldown as well. So Natsumi just tears apart the Phantom Assassin. They'll deal with the outskirt heroes as well. So many buybacks, but I mean, is it worthwhile as Polaris? They've been unscathed through the initial fight. They'll turn it back on BB. Oof. Oh no. Okay, not enough to get the kill.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Meta's on cooldown. Without Seri really to start fights, you're now relying on Storm with the Inkswell combo.
None of them have buyback on MY, so they can be feeling pretty damn confident. Actually, no one has buyback except for the Terrorblades, so maybe that's why they're wanting to back up a little bit, take the easier objective in Roshan. A little bit scary, but I suppose without the Mars and you know that he's on the deck for the next 35 seconds, you can feel somewhat assured that you're going to be able to secure this for yourselves. And I mean, what do they even? Who would they give this to? I'd give it to Force. The poison attack. Just lower armor is always going to be a good thing. Yep. Not that they have issues killing buildings.
Oh, they're coming out the base. They'd love to kill Xavius. They don't really get the initiation with the Inkswell. The rest of the dive mirroring the move at the moment, but they're not there fast enough. And they'll look to TP up for Lion Axe. Lelouch, he doesn't have the ultimate to cut him down. At least they will catch out Style as they're trying to hide with the Centaur. Once you don't have the way to turn yourself into one of the jungle creeps, so run into him.
Good TP out by Lion Axe. I mean, worst case scenario, if they kept going, he could have still Solar Guardian back in, but you gotta go here. I mean, this is the time.
They jump though. Lelouch trying to stop some of the blinks. Got the BKB out fast enough, and now I mean the initiation just going to be off the mark. It's more giving space for the side of Polaris to do the damage in regards to the objectives. Seri's going to drop to the northern side. They've ran into BB as well. And why they've showed fight though. You know, taking game one, a solid performance from them. Game two, for a majority of it, they looked really dominant. But for Polaris, just showing, you know, continuing with that hot streak here.
For sure. And eventually the GG is called. So a well-deserved victory coming through to Polaris. Like you said, a lot shakier than they might have been hoping for. But it's certainly what we were expecting, at least in terms of the series result.
I wonder, like, how much they've been scrimming, because I think there are, like, a couple of other tournaments that are going on at the moment that I've seen them posting on Twitter, but, like, I wonder how seriously they've been taking them, and, again, if they have been scrimming other teams as well on Polaris, maybe taking, like, a little bit of a break since qualifying to Division 1, but I see you swapped up the background, so we've showed some love. Does Natsumi deserve it, though? Like, what's going on? I feel like you had to be fast enough and give the love over to Lelouch. That is an incredible KDA, 29-1-9. Holy.
Yeah. There's basically nothing that you could fault out of his game, right? Like, did he... Yeah, his first death, and only death, was at 8.5 minutes. And then since then, flawless.
He was godlike at 15 minutes in, just before 15 minutes. So
was it earlier than that? I feel like it was.
He looked exceptional, Lelouch, and I feel like that's what we've. You brought up the thing at the start of the series of the X factor. Like Polaris, they have that on multiple of their players, and I mean Lelouch just shows that he has that in the arsenal. Again, 29-1-9. They looked crazy. I will say that MY safe lane went a lot better than at least what I was expecting. The earlier lane, we saw what happened when Force was able to get a little bit more levels and even the extra support to rotate down. But at the end of the day, you had a big issue with the Queen of Pain. You drafted yourselves into that hole, and yeah, they're probably kicking themselves a little bit with that.
Yep. Drafts win games, and unfortunately for MY, even though I really liked their game 1 and 2 drafts, this one was not it, even compounding the fact that the Aghanim shot on the Dawnbreaker felt a little underwhelming. You didn't really feel any of the impact on that, and Grimstroke wasn't able to finish up that Aghanim Scepter either. I feel like maybe, excuse me, that could have been the difference to turn things around on the high ground, but just getting caught out one too many times, and even the Philosopher's Stone wasn't able to dig him out of the hole that he was in. But it's not just one series tonight, is it, Aries? It is two.
Sure.
We are having Lil Gun against Army Geniuses coming up next, which
Yeah.
pretty damn excited. I would say, at least on paper, a lot more even across the board, especially with Army Geniuses' new addition to their roster, position 4, Naaman, aka Hustler, joining
Yeah.
in.
I'm excited to see how Army Geniuses are going to look to shape up here with this new addition, like you just said. And it's important. You're looking to try and have as many opportunities to qualify as possible to the Pro Series 10 Phase 2. So, of course, whichever team wins this are going to be facing Polaris in the grand final spot to qualify. So we'll send a break, and when we come back, we'll have our second and final series of the night.